I would like to ask you about the Greek state of finance. What do you think in this bleak, completely bleak economic outlook? How about Greece?
Well, in a very challenging context, the Greek economy continues to perform very well. The Greek economy is growing faster than the euro area. Indeed, public debt is coming down faster and unemployment has fallen more sharply. And I think that Greece has done some great work in recent years in terms of improving the competition friendliness of its regulatory and policy settings, and indeed it's improving its international competitiveness. A lot of work has been done around digitalizing public services and important reforms to the judicial system and many structural reforms that have helped to strengthen the economic outlook for Greece. So in what is a very challenging global context, the Greek economy is performing very well.
And what are the challenges?
There are challenges generally in the global economy, and Greece is a globally focused, export-oriented trading economy, and so to the extent that there are pressures on the global economy, that will also have an issue on Greece and via Europe also on Greece. This is the reason why we're having meetings like this one here at the OECD to talk to each other, to talk with countries across the OECD membership to find better ways forward, to strengthen the global economy, to improve trade and economic policy certainty so that Greece can continue to thrive as it has been in recent times.
And how ready are we to the challenges? Are we flexible in Europe or in Greece, of course, flexible to the challenges? Let's put it clearly, the tariffs, for example, and the uncertainty.
Well, Greece is in a much stronger position than it has been in the past, so that's a big tick. Greece's direct exposure to US tariffs, is relatively modest, but of course there is indirect exposure because of its impact, one on the broader global economy and also its impact more broadly on Europe. So to the extent that Greece's trading partners are impacted by what's happening, that of course is also a challenge for Greece. So that is why we're saying to governments all around the world, all around the OECD membership and beyond, to the extent that there are issues in the way global markets are operating, to the extent that there are issues in the global rules-based trading system, sit down and talk to each other, identify the problems, and work issues through by dialogue and cooperation. And I think that is win-win all around. And if we do it any other way, it will be bad for everyone. So that is why the meeting here that we're having at the OECD is so important. That's why it's great to have my good friend here with us. Really happy. We've worked together across so many different policy areas, and of course he chaired the Global Strategy Group meeting here at the OECD on 2 occasions in recent years, and it's great to have you back here.
What about then the Greek position?
Well, what the Secretary General of the OECD just said echoes yesterday's publication of the economic outlook of the OECD, which for Greece predicts strong growth for 2025 and 2026, above 2%, primarily driven by rising household incomes and by a surge in investment. This is not the only thing that the economic outlook of the OECD predicts for Greece. It also speaks about the easing of inflation, of achieving primary budget surpluses, as we have done already in the coming years in order to further de-escalate our national debt, and an overall economic performance of both resilience and potential. This was the message that I had the chance to convey to my colleagues at the ministerial meeting of the OECD. Greece is trying to assume a leadership role, specifically in Southeastern Europe, in both the green and the digital transition. And I would also like to extend a word of appreciation to my good friend, the Secretary General of the OECD, Mathias, with whom we enjoy a very strong collaboration as a Greek government. We trust the recommendations of the OECD. We follow them closely. We believe that the role of the OECD can be extremely productive for the reform process of the Greek economy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.